Hello and welcome. It is March 28th, and we are in this series called the Corona Challenge. My name is Sarah McLean, and I run the McLean Meditation Institute, and that has its home here in Santa Barbara. We also have programming in Nashville, Tennessee. We also have it in Australia, County Cork, Ireland, as well as Flushing, Michigan, and Sedona, Arizona. So I am dedicated to helping people wake up to the beauty and wonder of their lives and of this beautiful earth that we call home. And I do that through teaching people how to meditate. So when this Corona Challenge came about, one of my dear friends, Reed Cowan, said, you really got to get on there and lead some meditations as a way of helping people find peace in the moment. To help them focus on something other than the future, which seems a little crazy, and the wishing that things were going back to normal, and to just make peace with this moment, since really, this is all we really have, is this moment. So I am speaking to you from Santa Barbara. I just went to the beach. It is not closed there, although mostly everything is here. It's a stay at home, and I know it's a real challenge for people who are used to getting out in the world and having a lot of communication with others and time spent with others, and especially for those of us who are living alone and trying to connect in a meaningful way with the people we care about and to ourselves in a way that's peaceful. And even if you've got someone in the other room who loves to watch television and keep abreast of the situation, you don't have to scare yourself to do that. My husband is in there doing that, and he loves it. I see you, Amy. He's on the phone with all of his brothers, and they just got the notice from the president about how he wants to shut down New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. And of course, they're all from there. And so now they're trying to figure it out, which, we've been figuring out here in California for a while. So there are about over 45 of us on the call right now. And I don't know how you're feeling, but I want you to know how you're feeling. So let's take a moment and tune in to what's going on the inside. How are you right now? Maybe you have some residue of feelings you had earlier, interactions you had earlier, and maybe you're having some emotions that are right on the surface right now. So simply sort of take an inventory on how you're feeling and see if you can do it without any particular judgment. Simply welcoming what is here. This is a key to self-realization, is realizing what is here and treating yourself as someone who really matters. Treating your emotions as guests, because here they are anyway. You might as well welcome them because they're not going to stay here forever. Just welcoming what is here and settling into this moment with all of the emotion, all of the physical sensations, all of whatever the mind is occupied with. And just settling into this, welcoming it all. This mindful moment. Mindfulness means paying attention to what you're doing and feeling and experiencing while you're here now. So we're welcoming everything. And if you were to give a name to an emotion, not a story, but a name to the emotion, what would it be? Maybe I have a very limited, or had a very limited vocabulary when it came to emotional awareness. So I kept in very 3 simple packages: mad, sad, and glad. But maybe you have a little bit more nuanced vocabulary when it comes to your emotional state, and just welcome what's here and see if you can name it. Allowing your breath to deepen a little bit. And then let's set an intention for this gathering. Let's aim to be present. Let's aim to be nourished. Let's aim to meet each moment as it arises. So I'd like to invite you to open your eyes if you want to. I'm going to speak a little bit because I know we have some people that are new to meditation, and I want to give you a little bit of advice that I wish someone had given me before I headed off into a monastery to meditate for 8 hours a day. So here are the first ones, and I'll actually see if I can share my screen for those of you who are on the video. So I call them the 5 essentials to meditation. First off, no matter what we pay attention to in meditation, it's okay to get distracted. Thoughts are natural, it's okay, doesn't mean you're doing it incorrectly. Number 2, be kind to yourself, just like we were doing in that self-awareness exercise, that mindful moment. Treat yourself as you would a good friend or a sweet family member, and just allow what is here to be here. Allow yourself to experience what is here. Some of us are experiencing grief, and that is a very, very real experience. As a meditation teacher, I know that sometimes when people first learn to meditate, they have tears, they feel a little bit of sadness, they don't know why, but we come to find out that sometimes it's that they've been ignoring themselves for so long, and it feels so good to come home to your heart, come home to that inner sanctuary. And the same is true for right now. You know, our lives are completely different, even if it's just that we're staying at home, or even if we're hearing about news that is unsettling, or even if we're considering how healthy we are. You know, a lot of us are taking stock of our habits, our health, our community, our family members, looking at our relationships in a new light, looking at our homes in a new way. And some of this can trigger some grief. And grief is a process. Grief that things aren't the way they were or not as you expected them to be. And as you move out of your to-do lists and as life is being stripped away, you're having your to-be list be a little longer. And sometimes that grief of ignoring yourself does arise. So I wanted just to really let you know that it's important to be kind to yourself in meditation, as well as all the time, of course. Have compassion for yourself and your humanity. Have compassion for yourself and the emotions that are arising. You don't have to be happy all the time. You don't have to be calm all the time. You get to be all of it, the full spectrum. But it's also important to notice what you're putting your attention on and how that triggers your emotional response. So really taking good care of yourself and really finding nourishing ways to live in this particular time. Number 3, let go of any expectations that you might have heard about with meditation, even the expectation that you need to be calm or happy. Let it all go. It's more spiritual and more real to have the experience you're having rather than pretending you're having an experience you're not having. So let go of all expectations and let the practice work for you. Because meditation works whether you think you're good at it or not, whether you think you're doing it right or not. The only thing you can really do wrong in meditation is to beat yourself up, to quit, or to try too hard. So we're not going to try hard. We're simply going to do the practice. It's a fine balance between a very gentle effort and no effort at all. It's sometimes called the effortless effort. And then we're going to stick with the practice. Some of you might have places to go and things to do at about 12:30 or in about 20 minutes, and that's perfectly fine if you need to leave. Others, I would suggest if you can stay, we'll guide you through the meditation. We'll come out slowly, and then we'll have a discussion you feel free to take part in. So I'm going to mute you here, and we're going to get started. And the way to get started right now in any meditation is to become mindful once again. Mindfulness means paying attention and being present to what is going on right now. And as some people say, you want to lose your mind by coming to your senses. So if you want to, close your eyes, or if you prefer to, you can cap your eyes and gaze towards the floor. Just softening your gaze, not looking at anything in particular. I call this the advanced technique. We'll be meditating about 15 minutes. And if you're brand new to it, it might sound like a lot. But what I'll be doing is I'll be guiding you every step of the way. I'll leave a little bit of time for some silence or stillness. So let's begin by deepening the breath. If you can, easily breathe in and out through your nose. I'll invite you to do that. Slowly breathing in all the way, and then breathing out all the way. Letting yourself have 3 long, slow, deep breaths. This sends a signal to your nervous system that, it's okay to relax. There's nothing to brace yourself for right now. You're perfectly safe. It's time for a little unplugging, little analog rather than digital experience in your life. And then let your breath return to its natural rhythm and depth. Now, if you need to move throughout this practice or make some little adjustments in your posture, it's perfectly fine. Your hands can be face up on your lap or facing down, palm down, or even holding your other hand. So we're going to begin by once again welcoming everything. And this time we'll welcome the sounds in the environment. By practicing welcoming everything, you learn to be present with what is. So begin now to notice the sounds in the room you're in. What is here? Tuning into constant sounds or those sounds that arise and return to the silence. See if you can alleviate the needing to know where the sound is coming from and instead notice the sound of the sounds. And then noticing if there are any sounds farther away from you. And then bringing your awareness a little closer in, notice if there are any sounds inside your body. Welcoming everything, resisting nothing. Bringing your attention now once again to how you're feeling emotionally. What is here right now? If you'd like to name it, you can. If there's nothing in particular, that's fine too. And now noticing sensations that are present. The body is always right here. And tuning into sensations such as lightness or heaviness, or movement or stillness, pressure or tingling, warmth or coolness. I invite you to be the observer as we scan the body now in a mindful way, from the head to the toes, and I'll guide you through this. But let's practice doing it with a gentle, open attention, a loving awareness. So wherever you bring your attention, you're bringing a little beam of love. So starting with your scalp, simply noticing what's here in your forehead. If you do identify some tension, see if you can soften it as you notice your eyes and your eyelids. Your nose, your cheeks, your ears. There's no particular feeling you should be having other than what's here. Maybe you're not feeling anything at all. As you bring your attention now to your lips and your tongue, noticing your chin and your jaw. Noticing the front of your throat and neck. And then the back of your neck. And then letting your shoulders move away from your ears, softening them and letting your arms hang comfortably in your lap. Noticing whatever sensations are here, including maybe where your hands either touch each other or rest on your lap, or the clothing on your skin. Whenever the mind wants to drift into the future or the past, bring it here, letting it anchor its attention right here, your body, this moment. You can plan another time, you can reminisce at another time, but right now, we're going to pay attention to the sensations along the back. Perhaps you feel the clothing on your skin, or if you're leaning up against a chair, noticing that support behind you, and the sensations that are present. You might even feel your spine as it reaches from your tailbone to the base of your skull, like a tree reaching for the sky, holding your body up. And bringing your attention to your front body, feeling your chest, your entire rib cage, your diaphragm, your belly. Becoming curious as to the sensations. There's no particular feeling you should be having other than what you're having. As you continue to be mindful and bring your attention now to your hips and your pelvis. Noticing where your rear is meeting the chair or the cushion. Noticing your hip joints and your thighs. And scanning your legs, the fronts and backs and sides of your knees, your calves and shins, your ankles. Noticing the tops of your feet, the bottoms of your feet. And notice now, as you widen your aperture of your awareness and include your whole body, notice if there are any particular areas that are calling you, your body's languages, sensation. Maybe there's some heat or some tension, some sharpness, or even some unsteadiness. Bringing your attention to whatever area is calling you, and recognizing once again that your attention is love. Your attention, your unadulterated attention, is a beam of love. And we know that love heals. and soothes. So letting your attention rest on whatever area needs a little love. Suspending judgment and stories. And now widening the aperture once again and including your entire body. Notice the sensations of being alive. Perhaps you feel some tingling, or you notice the way that the air moves in and out of your lungs. Or you notice some swaying or pulsing. Taking a moment now and appreciating your life. Appreciating this moment of being alive. When the mind drifts into the future, just come on back here. Perhaps you can tune in to the gentle rise and fall of your chest. The breath is here. Your body is right here. Your life is happening right here and now. Appreciating each breath. Noticing the sensations, maybe where you feel them most prominently. The breath might get faster or slower as you pay attention to it. And if it evokes some sense of fear or anxiety, you can go ahead and move your hands and pay attention to the hands as you breathe, opening the hands as you inhale and closing the hands as you exhale. And noticing the pauses between each breath. Perhaps you notice the temperature change between the inhale and the exhale. You might even silently say to yourself, I am aware I am breathing in. I am aware I am breathing out. Or simply the words in and out. We'll practice this for another minute and I'll keep track of the time. Simply paying attention to the movement of your breath. And anytime something shows up that you think you need to take care of, just go back to the breath. Everything can wait for a minute. We're going to introduce now a few affirmations. If they feel comfortable for you to repeat silently, I invite you to do that. And see if they ring true for you. The first one is, I am safe. I am safe. My needs are taken care of. My needs are taken care of. I am grounded in this moment. I belong. I am powerful. I am kind. I am loved. I am free. I express myself honestly. I am grateful. I am wise. I am generous. I am love. Perhaps there's an affirmation you'd like to include or repeat. We'll take a minute or so to do that, and I'll keep track of the time. I invite you to keep your eyes closed as I sound the chimes and come out of meditation slowly. It's always important to come out of meditation slowly, even if you don't think you went very deep. Moving from that restful state of awareness into activity slowly helps you to integrate the benefits that you may have received through the meditation. The benefits of calmness, clarity, awareness, compassion for yourself and others, and the health benefits of lowered blood pressure and a little less sticky platelets and better digestion and circulation, as well as balanced hormones. So the way to come out, if you want, is to deepen your breath, to stretch into the space around you, keeping your eyes closed if you like, or opening them slowly, first with a downward gaze. And then when you want to open them all the way, you can do that, but practice taking your time. Don't rush over there. This is the slow period. And what I like to do is bring my hands in prayer position in front of my heart. I invite you to do it if it feels comfortable, with my thumbs touching my breastbone, and honoring that light and that love that lives through me as me, whether you call it God or source, the divine, or essence. Honoring that, recognizing that, and then recognizing it in you and in everyone, no matter what that seems like. Honoring the light that lives through them as them, even though it might be covered up with stress or anxiety, it's still there. And thanking and appreciating you for being here as part of my practice community, which I so appreciate. So if you take a moment and appreciate yourself for taking this time. You know, we always talk about the 3 jewels, the 3 treasures of practice. One is you, getting in touch with that unconditioned self, that permanent aspect of you, the looking through your eyes, that's loving you from the inside out. That's the Buddha, not the man, the Buddha, but your Buddha, your Buddhi Maya Kosha, your wisdom. Second is your wisdom, wherever you get it. Hopefully you're getting it from something other than the news at this point. Finding ways to surround yourself with inspiration and good company and wise teachers, whether they're in a book, whether they're in the Bible, whether they're in YouTube teachers, but finding that which lights you up and keeps you inspired with your practice. And of course, the third treasure is our community of practice, wherever you might find them. There's a lot going on online right now. It's great whether you're practicing yoga or meditating with us or meditating with some other people or connecting. Some people are going to Al-Anon meetings, AA meetings online. Other people are doing all kinds of cooking online and keeping company. So whatever you are doing to stay connected, because even though we're physically distant, we're spiritually connected and close. So that's important. And, you know, just stringing together moments of mindfulness so that you're not being hijacked or your attention isn't being hijacked by fear, anxiety, that uncertainty of the future. And one way to do that is by affirmations. Sometimes they work. Sometimes they're just really good touchstones to see, is this true for me? And if it's not, why not? Do I believe this? And if not, why not? And really seeing the stumbling blocks to the truth of some of those statements. And then living with the eyes of appreciation, the heart of appreciation and gratitude for the good stuff, because I know what you look for, you will find. Whether it's the way in which people smile at you from their car, or whether it's the way the butterflies are floating around in your backyard or the way the sunlight shines through your window. There's always something to be grateful for, even that body, the emotions that we are able to feel, and the life that we are given right now. So gratefulness, mindfulness, and kindness. If you've filled up your cup enough, asking the question, how can I help? Whether it's how can you help a neighbor, someone on this call, even yourself. How can I help? How can I take care of this? How can I serve? Antidotes for this new normal. So thank you for being here today.